So, what's up, my beautiful people on the internet? It's Ankit, and I welcome you all to our Grand Python series. First of all, my heartiest congratulations to all my viewers who have successfully completed my like aim challenge of the previous video. Secondly, in this video, our like aim is gonna be 50. And with that said, I'm gonna discuss some part about the previous video. In the previous video, I have covered the topic of variables in Python. And in this video, I'm gonna say or talk about what is ID and explain it very well to you so that you guys must not have any doubt regarding it. So with that said, so as I have said that in this video I'm gonna say that what is basically ID in Python. Now, for giving you a basic idea about ID, a ID is basically the place or the memory address, exactly the memory address where the variable is basically stored. Now, it will be better if I describe you with an example. Now, if I create a variable like s equals 89, okay, and if I try printing the ID of it, sorry, it will be print, right? Yeah, it's print, and if I try printing the ID of s and then if I run the code, you guys can see that this number was generated. But what is this number exactly? This number is nothing but the exact memory address where this ID is stored. Now, better explain, it's the memory byte code, okay, where the variable is basically located. So after this, I'm gonna take another example. Now, this is the ID of a integer, and if I make another variable named a and if I give it our channel's name, hold on, and if I give it our channel's name and if I then try printing, okay, printing the ID of that element or that variable, sorry, you can see the code. Yeah, it's clear, I guess. Yes. And if I try printing it, you will see there are two different things that are generated, two different numbers basically. These numbers are nothing but the memory addresses of the variables where these data types are basically located when the code is ran on our system. So in this way you can get different IDs and you can know basically that where these types of variable are stored. Now, in the previous videos I have explained you about the input function. So if I take an input, that input of suppose something like enter a number, yeah, if I take something like this and if I, you can see, yeah, and if I then try printing the ID of it, a, okay, and if I run the code, okay, it's first, if I give it 89, the number which I have already taken was also 89 and the number which I'm giving as input is also 89. If I run the code, you can see two numbers were generated and these two numbers are not the same. So basically even these two things are 89 but these IDs are not same. Can you guys know the reason why? If you know, please comment down fast and then see the answer. Because when I'm taking a as an input, then a is basically a string value. I need to convert it into an integer for taking or for making the IDs same. If I convert this in a integer value, okay, and the conversion videos also I'll take this, the latter video will be regarding the conversions of the data types. Okay, I'm just seeing it, just understand a little bit, I'll explain it more in the next video. Okay, so if I do like this and if I then run the code, it's asking for the number. If I give it 89, you can see the memory addresses are exactly the same. What's exactly happening? The number which I'm giving is also 89 and the number which is already present is also 89. What does it signify? It signifies that both the memory addresses are exactly the same and they are stored in a particular memory address. So the IDs of both the variable s and a are exactly equal to each other, but there is a big difference between an integer ID and a string ID. Remember one thing, whenever you are taking any of the input, if that numbers, both the things are integer, then only the IDs will be same. Now I have showed you that taking input 89 and the number which already exists, they have the same IDs. But if I try this with a string, See the difference. It's Ankit there, I'm taking the input also. This input is also in string. Now if I try, it's Ankit they already taken, and I'm giving here Ankit they also, okay, as an input. And if I then try, this is also a string which has the same value as the s. If I try, see, there are two memory addresses generated, but these two memory addresses are different. Why? Because both, but you remember one thing, that both the different data type significances are equal, but the memory addresses are different. Why? Because string float values doesn't generally signifies all the different data types. If you try it with a float, see, 8.9, it's a float number. And if I try it with a float function, wait, let me, it's a float, and if I give your input, close the parenthesis, sorry, I've done a mistake here. And yes, if I try printing the id, and it's 8.4, right? If I give 8.4, see, the variables are different. 8.9, okay, try, yeah, see, this memory addresses are different. This is the basic example. Remember one thing, that only in case of input of a integer data type, both the IDs of the elements will be equal, because they are stored in a same memory address. In case of anything, any string or any float data type, or even any boolean data type, they are not gonna be equal if one number is stored and another number you are taking as input. So this was basically, and you can do some random stuff like even check the data type of that id, that what kind of data type basically is id, is it a number or a string value which they are giving in as a input. If I try checking it, that it's asking for the number, I'm giving it 8.9 again, and see, this class is int. What does that signify? That this big number which was seeing, that 50015728784 784, is basically a integer value. It's not a string value, it's an integer value, okay. Many guys must be confused still with integers and strings. They guys can check my previous videos. I have made complete detailed videos regarding them, and in this way you can even play around with some stuffs like that, and you can even check. I am even showing you this with a boolean value true. Okay, if I tell it a bool value, and if I then take input, okay, it's tracking. If I give you a true, oh sorry, I need to remove this type, okay, for making it better. And if I give here true, it can easily convert. See, they are exactly the same. So remember, in case of boolean and in case of integer, the IDs of a input value and a self-stored value will always be same. In case of float and in case of string values, these IDs will not be same, because they are broken down into bits, and then the memory addresses of them becomes different. So this is basically all the things which you need to understand ID, and ID is a very simple function of Python, but is used in many of the cases for determining memory locations. So yeah, this will be enough for this video. If you have any problem, don't hesitate to comment down below, and if you like this video or feel this video informative, give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe my channel. I make daily programming videos regarding Python and other stuffs. So yeah, this will be all for today. Ankit De signing off. Peace.